This is a pile of bedding from the horses that we've got on site that's put out every morning and evening for people to collect, put onto their compost heap, which is great. We started off our compost heap a year or so ago with some of this and put some on every now and again. So anyway, here's the lower plot. It's looking good. It's had a strim, so it's looking a bit tidier. The paths are looking a bit tidier. In here we've got our white onions, which are doing okay after the fox got in there whilst it was all frozen. This is our red onions, which seem to be doing much better than the white, but they weren't attacked by foxes at any point. As you can see, we've got a few trees in pots on the site, and one over there as well. Coming over, we've got another row of onions in this bed here, and we've started sort of planting up a few plants. This is the comfrey, which has finally come through, which is doing well. Most of these beds are empty but are all planned for growing. We have some very small perennial kale here, but those will grow to about 3 foot or more, hopefully by this year. Then we come to the parsnip and carrot bed. You can see carrots down here, parsnips over here. Quite a few of these we've had to re-sow because I think slugs did get in there and chomped away quite happily, so we've had to re-sow. But that's fine. That means that some will have been sowed a few, 2 months ago now, and the others will be a bit later. So it's a bit like consecutive sowing. Then moving to here, this is where we're going to have our pumpkins. We're going to have Crown Prince and Uchi Curry here. And then this end, we're going to have runner beans, but that's going to be what they call Black Beauty runner beans, which somebody sent me last year. And here we're going to have, oh, my finger's gone, here at the top, we're going to have peppers. Here we've got some thyme, some parsley growing, and also some oxeye daisy, just to give a bit of flower. This is our cuttings bench and bits and pieces bench. Here, I think you can see, oh, I got my finger in the way there. Here you can see the blueberries that we got from, I think it was Kitchen Garden magazine. They came from Thompson and Morgan. I potted those up. You may have seen the video. They're doing really well. And then next to it is one that we got from Poundland, which is, it's got green on it, so that's okay. And we've got another one here, which has just got a little bit of green on the other side. You can't actually see it, but it's only on the side here. These are all rosemary cuttings that were taken last year. And this is an Angelica, which was munched on by slugs. These are the late strawberries. You may have seen again a video of me potting these on. They're doing really well. They're on a little strawberry bench thing that we got from Free Cycle, or as it is now called Trash Nothing. And here's also a big Belfast sink that I'm not sure whether to sink it in the ground here as a pond or at our other plot, but again we got that on Trash Nothing completely free, though I did need a big hand to get it into the car because it was so heavy. Then here in this first bit, sorry about the shaking, in this first bit we have Oxhella carrots. Again, we've had a slug invasion in here, so what I've done is, where the netting before was actually on the ground here, staked into the ground, I've staked it actually in, so I'm hoping that the slugs will find this slightly less of a barrier, slightly more of a barrier rather, and won't get in. But we re-sowed Oxhella in that yesterday. The broad beans, which were planted about a month ago, are doing really well in there. Then moving over, in this bit we have peas, which have been direct sown. Over here we have mange 2 here, and then we have a couple of peas here. Now these peas here were quartz peas. There's a plane going over, so hopefully you'll still hear me. These were quartz and were from a magazine, came free with a magazine. There were 15 seeds in it and 3 of them came up. Here, this is all save seed from our mange 2 that we had from Lidl as a pack last year. And of the 32 seeds that we had, 30 came up. So it just goes to show that even when you get things fresh from a new packet of seeds that comes on the front of a magazine, germination can be poor. And this is where the celery is going to be. So as you can see, there's a few weeds in here, but nothing that a hoe isn't going to sort out. So now we'll go up to the top plot in time to put my sunglasses on, because it really is rather wonderfully sunny. And it's very quiet. There's a magpie. We just had a flock of parakeets go over about 10 minutes ago, which were making an awful lot of squawking, which was absolutely lovely. And then as I came up here before, just to put a pot, I saw our resident fox, or one of our resident foxes. We think she's had cubs and is looking extremely healthy. I think since Ealing brought in the hard bins that get collected rather than black bags, the foxes seem to be quite a bit healthier. Anyway, here we are at the top plot. This is where we're going to have tomatoes. Over here is where we had our cabbage in. I assume there's a fox has dug a little hole there. Then over here is potatoes. These are our mid potatoes. Here we have some kale still in, and we're preparing this. We're going to have butternut squash up here, and we're going to have further kale down here. The the broad beans are doing okay. I think they need a bit of water. Then here you will see the the potatoes that I planted again about a month ago, I think. They're doing well. They have actually, we've put more compost on top, as you can see. So these are the ones that are planted in a hole, and then we've earthed them up as they've grown along. The garlic is looking stunning. I mean, I'm amazed at it every day I come down here. It really is quite stunning. So that will be harvested around the end of June. We've got some yellowing of leaves at the moment, but I can see over here there's some yellowing of leaves, some around, but that's not too much of a problem at the moment. I'm not going to worry about that needing to be harvested, because that's a good month away at least. Then over there, in this bed we have some shallots which I've never grown before, and I can see they're splitting. This bed here is just being prepared. I did find quite a few slow worms in here the other day. The rest of the site, this is where we've decided the blueberry that we didn't know we had is, and then there's just a few plants going along. The apple tree is still fantastic. It's looking glorious. Things happening over here. The grass needs a big cut, but we'll get on with that. The strawberries are, as you can see, flowering really well. And then we'll just go into the polytunnel. So here's the polytunnel. Broad beans doing okay. Obviously we need to have the door open so that those can be pollinated. We still have, oh, I've got a spider in front of me. We still have plenty of lettuce coming up from that overwintered lettuce. And down here is also another lettuce which has overwintered really well. That's an oak leaf lettuce. We've got some brassicas there that need potting on. A few things up there that are coming through. Oh, I've just noticed, what have we got here? that is broccoli. You can see here and here, broccoli has started coming through. The rest is more rocket, coriander, salads. Up here are our tomatoes. These are the Amish paste and pink Bulgarian, which have strengthened up a bit. You can see there's one here which is a little bit dodgy, but it seems to be coming back, so we're just going to leave it. The rest are Marmande and San Marzano, I think, and are looking really strong. I don't know if you can see, but they've got their hairs on their stalks, and the stalks are pretty tough now, which is great. These are peppers, which are going to be potted on today, and basil, which is also going to be potted on today. These two at the back, which look a bit again like an oak leaf, those are the two lychee tomatoes. These are the ones that seem to have, or do have, thorns on the stalks, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. They're going to be inside. Then bits and pieces, lots of pots. Now these here are grafts that I've done of pears and apples. There's one here as well. I was at a Social Farms and Gardens conference a couple of weeks ago, and there was a person that was grafting apples and pears. He did this one here, which I brought home with me from Manchester, and then he gave me these scions here and here, and I grafted those earlier this week, and I think you can just see on this one in particular that bud has started to grow. Don't have anything over here at the moment, which is the one that was professionally done, but I'm sure something will happen. And this one, we'll wait and see what happens, but this one definitely seems to be taking up sap and growth from the bottom rootstock, which I'm really pleased about. At the back over here we have some leeks which aren't doing too well. Not sure what to do about leeks. We love leeks, we use them a lot, but I don't seem to have a lot of luck growing it. So this is the view from the Polytunnel out down the rest of the plot. Now, something else that I do want to show you, which I got on Trash Nothing again. Sorry. Again, here's a few bits and pieces. I was given this cultivated blackberry, which is going to go somewhere, not quite sure at the moment. A few other bits and pieces. In there we have I've sown into pots. I always sow runner beans and beans into pots. So at the top we have gigantes, which are giant butter beans, and we have the Black Beauty runner beans. Then on the second shelf here we have Madeira Maroon, which are a lovely flat French bean, and then on the bottom we have borlotti, because we love borlotti beans. Here's the cooking apple Bramley that we got at Pound Stretcher. I thought it looked dead, so I offered them £1 and they accepted it, and it's doing really well. But anyway, coming round to our compost bin, the bit that most people don't see, being careful while I walk because there's frogs around. That's our sort of compost, man-made compost heap, and this is a hot bin that we got on Trash Nothing again for nothing. These are somewhere in the region of about 175 to 250 pounds each, and they compost at heat, so they're much quicker. They're supposed to be 32 times quicker than this way. Let's just go up here and see what the temperature is on this one. I'm not sure, can you see that? Yeah, there we are. Temperature is almost 40 degrees or 40 degrees. There's a little whiff, but not too much of a whiff. And I'm going to open it up and see if there's any steam inside. Oh yeah, you can see that that is really composting away. So I'm going to shut that, so you don't want the heat to go out. Not totally sure what's going to be in this bin. Obviously it's going to be compost, but you have to get the mix in here extremely right. It needs bulking agent, which are sort of sticks and twigs and things like that, or wood chip, and it needs plenty of greens and plenty of browns to get it going. But anyway, that's yeah, I'm sort of pleased with that. We'll see what actually happens. Anyway, then down here we've got bamboo, we've got some rhubarb, and that's about it. Oh, on the final shot here, the gorgeous Aquilegia. Absolutely lovely. Love Aquilegias. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the quick tour, and we'll see you soon. Bye.